Welcome to PricePlow. We are here at SupplySide West 2024 with Sandy Almendarez of Informa Markets. Thank you so much for, first off, having us here, allowing us to do what we do, and for hosting us here in the garden. I know you're very busy. This is a big show, and we appreciate you having us here. So we'd love an introduction because we've never really talked on this podcast or anything. We've talked about SupplySide West like for the last 10 episodes. But
thank you.
No one knows who's really behind SupplySide West. So give us the introduction to yourself, to Informa Markets, and then to SupplySide West. And what started this whole thing is that you went through a rebrand. So let's start with yourself and just kick it off. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here, and I would absolutely take the time, even during a SupplySide West, to be here with you too. I am Sandy Almendarez, as you said. I'm the Vice President of Content at SupplySide. So that means that my team, and I oversee the team who puts together all of the education sessions that we have here at the show. And we've got a ton. There's 145 speakers. We've got just over 130 hours of content at this show. And then year round, we also have we have two media brands, SupplySide Supplement Journal, which was formerly known as Natural Products Insider, and SupplySide Food and Beverage Journal, formerly known as Food and Beverage Insider. As you said, we just went through a rebrand, so got to get that muscle memory working there. And of course, we have other shows, SupplySide Connect New Jersey, which is formerly known as SupplySide East. That's in Secaucus, and that's all the education that I oversee. But of course, SupplySide and Informa we're much bigger than that. We've got our hands in Europe and Asia and Africa and beyond. Natural products are also tied to Informa.
Okay, so SupplySide is also in Europe as well. Is that what you just said? Or
well, so we've got, not exactly SupplySide, but Informa Markets. So we've got our sister brands in Europe, food ingredients. So there's food ingredients Europe, there's food ingredients Asia, many more food ingredients Africa, food ingredients South America. And then we've also have Vita Foods, which is the supplement side, and that's also in European and global markets.
So what prompted this rebrand? Has this been brewing for a long time, or was there some was there confusion? People are going to want to know what happened, and then eventually what's the direction going to be? Because just so you know, and I've said this many times, this is our favorite show. This is my favorite show. Because we consider this our Super Bowl in ways. So we don't want it to change too much, but we always, of course, love change, innovation, all the new stuff. But what prompted all this?
Certainly. So the rebrand, really, we're not changing anything about the direction of SupplySide and where we're going. We wanted to do it. You name something, and then 25 years later, you're like, wait,
we are very well aware of this. Yes,
a couple things have changed in 25 years in dietary supplements, right?
Exactly, and so. For me, I'll focus on the media brands first because I come from content, and so we had our media brands before we had SupplySide, and the success of the media brands is what, I wasn't around then, but prompted that team at that time to say, I wonder if we put on a show, what would that look like? And so the Natural Products Insider has had several iterations, but that name it's been around for a very long time, and we struggled with people not knowing that we're part of SupplySide. I mean, in those years past, this is the 27th SupplySide West. In those years, SupplySide has grown so much that the brand equity really has been pulled over to SupplySide. And while we do have diehard fans of Natural Products Insider, myself included, and it was very hard for me personally to let go of that. I had to do a lot of grieving and a lot of it's okay.
All 7 stages.
It's okay. For me personally, it's I've been in the industry for 15 years. I've been working on Natural Products Insider for those years. And I feel like a lot of my success is tied into that brand success. But psychological, damage and all. But we did realize it's better for that brand and for SupplySide, the show, to have everything named the same. And so we updated that to be SupplySide Supplement Journal. Natural Products Insider is, it just doesn't really say exactly what it is. Natural Products Insider always focused on supplements only, and so we have changed the focus of the name and not the focus of the brands. And then here at SupplySide West, we're renaming that next year. It will be called SupplySide Global to make it more. This is a global show. It's a global. There's nothing necessarily West about it other than it's in Las Vegas and I guess Western side of the hemisphere, but it's a global show. We have a global audience, and so we really wanted to reflect that name. And I'm sorry, I keep going on. And then SupplySide Connect New Jersey. That So those names were SupplySide East, SupplySide West, and on paper you'd be like, oh, that's the same show. It's just in a different location. But they're not. The value propositions are so incredibly different. And what's really great about SupplySide Connect New Jersey is that's where you go to connect. It's a smaller show. There's more time. You can actually make deals. You can make deals here, but you've got to be pretty close to signing before you get here for it to happen. And so look out for perhaps new Connect shows in the future. There's SupplySide Connect New Jersey, and we'll have that opportunity to have new shows with new locations tied in place of New Jersey. But I'm not announcing anything here today.
I love it so much. I'm from Jersey, so I had a little bit of pride in the SupplySide New Jersey. But the Connect part I love because a lot of people, from someone from Jersey, a lot of people ask me, is it worth to go to SupplySide East, formerly known as? And I always had a take kind of like what you were saying. Like, if you're coming here to explore multiple halls of crazy, it's really not that kind of show. But when you get there, the meetings that you're able to have are so much more intimate, and you can really get to the essence of like the deals you're trying to work on. So I love what you guys are doing there. And I love a little bit of hint of maybe some other connections out there. If someone asked you, what is SupplySide? Sorry to pull it back a little bit, but if someone were to ask you, what is SupplySide? Because all of my friends and family don't know why I'm so excited about coming to Vegas every October. Could you tell us, like, SupplySide is, give us the pitch?
Yeah, so SupplySide is product innovation. SupplySide is your doorway to innovation for your product, natural product. And so my personal thing is, this is not a SupplySide branded thing, but a Sandy thing, is from head to hand. So a product concept to product in your hand. So it's ingredients, it's sourcing, it's claims, it's sustainable packaging, everything that you need to create a product. Once you have a product in your hand and you are taking that to market, that is no longer SupplySide. That we leave to our New Hope friends, right? So that is the product distribution, retail, go-to-market strategy. That would be covered at newhope.com. That would be on stage at Natural Products Expo West and Newtopia Now. SupplySide is product innovation and development.
Okay, regarding Natural Products Insider, you've renamed it. It's a kind of a general name, but you've renamed it to a more specific name, SupplySide Supplement Journal.
Yes.
Right? So
yes.
What happens to the other natural products that are not supplements, like natural foods, for instance? Do you have other places where that would be covered, or is Supplement Journal only going to cover supplements then? Are you like leaning heavier into that?
Yeah, so it's nutraceuticals, right? So there are, cosmeceuticals, right? That would be part of that, but we're not going to turn that into a topical cosmetic. It's just not what the brand is, and I think it's really important for brands to be specific, especially as I just mentioned, we're Informa. We've got a lot of niches, and I want to just do what we do very, very well. And we do have SupplySide Food and Beverage Journal for the food and beverage side that's covering more of the functional food and beverage as well as healthier, better for you foods and beverages.
Okay, cool. But they all come together for this show here, which will be SupplySide Global, which
Yes.
I love because
Yes.
this is where we do see all of our international friends, and it makes sense. Like, it is global. So I think the whole rebrand makes sense to me. And the logo is really cool. We'll pop it up in our show notes.
I really wanted to say, we have several friends in branding, and when rebrands happen, there's always like a sort of little bit like murmuring, like, oh, what do you think about it? And every single person was blown away by what you were able to do, which is cool because you're an expo. Like, how cool could their branding really be? But it's modern. I think you guys did an incredible job, and it really excited us to kind of like get to SupplySide. We were already excited, but to just kind of see like what you guys are going to do with everything new has been really exciting.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, shout out to our marketing team, who's led by Catherine Bird, amazing, and also shout out to Marketplace. We worked with them on this whole rebranding. There was a lot of market data that we did to even. We started this with not knowing if we were going to end up with a rebrand. We wanted to know, like, what are people saying out there? Where is the brand equity? And we came to this conclusion, and we worked with them, and they've been fantastic to work with.
It's interesting to see because it started as journals, and then you became it's more powerful here in a way. I don't know. Everyone just loves it. You can just tell, like, people are happy.
The world changes. I mean, like, we went from like literal print ads and everything to in person to social media. There's all sorts of things. You guys have an app. In a week after the show, most of the education sessions are going to be available online for people who couldn't make it. Like,
right.
That's adapting with the times, and that's what we love to see.
So I guess my next question would be, since you do content, like on the education side, what are some of the needs that are currently like being addressed, needing to be addressed, that you want to lead into heavier and everything with education?
Yeah, I mean, well, trends is always like our number one, and everyone wants to know like what is trending, and of course, what's trending is mushrooms and magnesium and functional beverages, and of course the blurring of lines of foods and beverages. I mean, I feel like every single education session that topic organically came up. It's like, what's a food, what's a supplement, and there's of course very legal definitions, but what does a consumer think? So I think that's just like that like supplement to beverage to food pipeline is really interesting and great to watch, and where we at SupplySide are really good at spotting those trends. And if something is really popping in a supplement, like what does a brand need to do to make that taste good, make it efficacious if you need a higher dose, etc. Sorry, I got on a tangent there. I mean, AI, of course, technology. Where is all this going? What to invest in? How do we know what is hype and what is going to have staying power? I mean, I think it's just really exciting. I don't think anyone knows, but I love to be in that conversation.
One of my favorite things I hear every year is people in their first or second year at SupplySide, they get here and they're like, I'm so excited to see all of the new innovation. And someone like a veteran usually goes, if you think all the innovation on the floor is really cool, wait till you start going to the meetings like at the event, right? Like the education sessions, you can learn so much from like serious veterans and experts. But also like the stuff that maybe isn't being presented yet is almost always presented privately at SupplySide. Like the people who are bringing really cool stuff, it might not be in a actual booth, but it always happens here. It's really exciting. We go home with like 17 new ideas for the next year every year. We usually end up having to slow the roll. It's like we got a lot going on.
Yeah. So what is the cadence, or like the cadence for getting ready for the next trade show? When do you need to have your sessions set up? How do you get involved? Like, how do you pick and everything? Like, what happens? What, like month 1 through 6 or whatever?
I laugh because different companies have different cultures, and some may call us rigid at SupplySide, but we are very, very prepared. And if you've been a speaker, you know that we have these deadlines that are well in advance. So we open our call for expertise in February, and that usually closes the week after Expo West, so mid-March. And then we'll have all of our education defined by by early June, speakers confirmed by mid to late July, and then we'll do speaker planning calls, and that's really the time frame that we get. So when people reach out and it's September and they're like, hey, I would love to present something next month at SupplySide West, I'm like, no, maybe next year. It's just, we really have to work so far in advance, and because we just really want to have all of our speakers dialed in. It's so important to me that all of our speakers know each other, they meet each other, they have charisma on stage, and everyone's feeling really, really comfortable. Now, with that rigidity, you would think like, well, what if there's like something that happens and we have to plan for that? I mean, and like we've done this so long that we actually plan for the unexpected, and so we'll always leave a couple open that we can plug in, and so then we're only working last minute on a few and not the whole thing.
I'm laughing because Cassie's behind the camera right now, and like if anyone has like, we had a call like whenever it was that you're supposed to have the topics figured, and she was like, what do you think about this sports nutrition call or talk? And I was like, I honestly won't know what I want to talk about until September, because the things that I was talking about in say June are not relevant anymore. But you guys, I mean, you guys are super prepared and like I run things a little loose sometimes, and I get these emails from you guys, and I'm like, I need to be on top of this for these guys. I need to make a good impression with these people. But you guys do a great job of really trying to be ahead of things, and really, being the professionals at noticing trends and having the right people in the room, which has really been great.
Yeah, we appreciate that, because for every fast and loose like organization, we need the professionals in the room. So this is my way of saying thank you and everything.
We do a lot of rounding up for sure.
All right. So do you have like backup speakers and everything? Okay.
Oh yeah, we've got like Excel spreadsheets and backups, and if this person is sick, and who's going to do what, and what's everyone's cell phone. I mean, like we have runs of show for every single session with everyone's cell phone. I mean, it's very organized.
Okay, how big is your team?
16 of us.
Okay.
And
nice.
so, but that's we do everything. So that's people who write, people who are presenting at our conferences, creating the education here. I want, I'll say SupplySide wants our experts, our content team, to be seen as experts everywhere, right? So the bylines as well as faces, and I think that that's really important. Is like AI is coming in and more content is being produced by computers. That it's really important that we are the specialists and we are trusted and people know who we are. And so everyone does everything. It's more difficult on the team to do that as opposed to just having like, I'm just a writer or I'm just a conference producer. But so there's 16 of us, but we do everything.
Excellent. And what you listed the shows. Are those the shows that you touch only, or do you do some other stuff for Informa?
So we do, but that's it's like an invited basis, right? So because we are a supply side team and we are experts in the industry, we'll often get asked to present or moderate or do other things at other Informa events or non-Informa events. But we only have responsibility and we can only enforce those really early deadlines on supply side.
Oh, right. Awesome. What's been the feedback so far for 2024?
I mean, it's been fantastic. I mean, I'm just delighted. We've had Monday and Tuesday of education, and I'm just so proud of the team and our speakers. You can really tell that we've put in a lot of work and that the speakers feel really comfortable and they can even get vulnerable on stage, and it's just like really good dynamics and charisma coming from the stage. That's just what I love. There's been a ton of audience interaction and like people are really into it, and so not only are there numbers in the chairs, but those numbers are paying attention, and that's what I need. I mean, Ben, you were on stage.
We had fun. It was the coolest thing. Like I'm not saying I get nervous in front of people, but typically it's like digital people. They're not actually in front of me. And like I sat down and like we had a good time. Like every one of us made some sort of mistake, or I said I don't know to one question. Like we just had a great time, and everyone came up and said that they found a lot of value in it. So that's the most important thing to me. Is like if we're gonna do this in front of people, I mean, there's professionals in the room. Like I want to make sure that we're giving them information that's helpful. So thank you. It's so much fun.
I mean, professionals are people too, right?
They are, and sometimes I forget. Like I see people who are so successful, and it's like, what can we add? What can we help them with? But you know, we all work in areas that those people want to learn from, and they came here for that reason. So
yep.
Yeah.
So Sandy, I have to ask the question.
Yeah.
Was there any discussion? Tomorrow is October 31st, 2024, Halloween. A lot of us are leaving early because of kids at home and all that. Like, was there a discussion? What was the conversation that led up to this, or was it just already signed from years ago with Mandalay Bay?
Yeah, I mean, I have a 6-year-old and I have a 9-year-old, so I feel your pain, and I will be missing trick-or-treating with my children because I'm here. It's very upsetting. We don't love it. We wish we didn't have this conflict. And I wish I had a better explanation than this is what Mandalay Bay gives us. And in these conversations, I will say that Mandalay Bay is in the driver's seat. And unfortunately, I wish we had more power to demand better dates. But this is where we are.
One cool thing that happened, I noticed, because of the unfortunate circumstances, a lot more people, compared to my last experience with education, showed up to education because people shifted. They're like, okay, maybe I can't do all of Thursday, but I can get here a day early. And a lot of people showed up for education. The last time I was part of an education, it's off. It's not in the expo hall. It's somewhere else. We had really curious people, but we didn't have as many like main people that were coming out. I saw some brands that I wouldn't expect typically to come to education, but because of the situation, they were really interested. I also think the topics this year really enticed a lot of people.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, we are always playing with the timing, how long the education sessions are, when they should be. This is the first year that we've ever done a Monday evening. We have in the past traditionally done Fridays, but we thought with Halloween, like people are going to be leaving on Thursday. Mm-hmm. So like, there's no way people are going to come on a Friday. So, but we'd also try not to compete with the expo hall hours as much as we can. So I was like, well, let's try Monday. And sure, Tuesday had better registration than Monday, as you would expect, but there were still numbers. There were still people in the room.
The room had a considerable amount of people in it. Not that I am ever pessimistic about turnout, but in-person events is just different now that you can load up YouTube or Instagram on your phone. You know, like getting people to come to an event it's just a different hurdle. But I felt like you guys packed it with the right experts to get them in there. And the topics were all very enticing and engaging. You typically have like CGMP explainers and stuff, which are I am a huge fan, and I get excited about it, but most people don't get excited when they see CGMP. But I felt like a lot of the topics that you guys got into were on trend, exciting. Like we talked about active nutrition versus sports nutrition. We talked about some of the biggest topics, and you have spins, you have all sorts of different people giving real data like of what they see. So I got a lot of feedback that it was valuable and helpful for what people were doing.
Well, thank you so much. I'm really proud of our team.
Good.
It does seem like somewhere I might be pointing in the wrong direction. You have a seating setting where you could have another stage here on the floor. Do you take advantage of that or use that at all, or is that
so we do
bad idea?
We have great idea. We have 2 stages on the expo hall floor. So when I said we try not to compete with expo hours, I mean off the show floor, right? So
okay.
we have 2 stages. One is the supply side stage. It's that way. And then we also have the Food Ingredients North America Theater. So the supply side stage is focused on supplement innovations and initiatives, and then the Food and Beverage Theater is focused on food and beverages. So those are going all day. Those are faster sessions, 30 minutes.
Okay.
And it's more top level, more broad, but just quick hits.
Okay, cool.
I had the coolest experience I want to tell you about. Complete real life anecdotal experience. I showed up Monday for the day. I had to go get my speaker badge, and I was hanging out in the aisle getting my badge, and a guy was just asking kind of like generic questions around. If he's watching this, I'm sorry, I'm telling your story. And he asked a question about manufacturing or something that I just reached out and answered. And he started asking me a lot of questions, and I started helping him. And come to find out he's launching his own brand. He's starting on this. Came to SupplySide because he found this is the place to come and to find everything. And I had gotten my badge. I really needed to get going, but I was like, hey, listen, I do this kind of thing a little bit, and here's my phone number. If you need anything, I'd be happy to have a call and point you in some directions. If nothing else, I'll just tell you booth numbers you can go to. And 3 hours later, I get up on stage and I sit down and I look up, and he's in the front row. And afterwards, we have this whole topic.
Yeah.
We'll talk about like launching brands and trends and expertise and everything. I walk off the stage and he walks over. He's like, "You weren't kidding. You do this a little bit." But it was like, I thought it was a huge testament to like SupplySide, right? Like he showed up early because he wanted to launch a company, and he found like, hey, we had a whole day of education sessions. He and his wife were like splitting them so they could get to all of them and take notes. And it was like, a little bit self-serving, but a success story of someone who came to SupplySide and really found exactly what they were looking for in the whole cast of people that we were talking of.
Yeah, that's another thing that I love about SupplySide and our industry. It's, we're not just here like at booths doing transactions, or we're not just in there like pay this money and we'll tell you some stuff. It's a community. You overhear someone whisper and you're like, I'm so sorry to bother you, but I know a supplier who can do that. There, the Guy Raz show with the magic spoon, right? Like, we all know that. We love that story at SupplySide, where you can really lean on everybody else to find your product success. And people are not stingy with information. They're not like, I will help you, but first sign this and give me money. It's just, we're truly a community. We're here to help build a better world, help people be better, be healthier. It's so wonderful. And how lucky are we that we get to do this for our jobs? It's amazing.
I feel bad saying that I'm working this week because I'm really just having fun and just doing the things that we're passionate about.
We do take it for granted, the openness, and there are patents and this and that in the industry, of course. But you're right, it is pretty open and transparent. And the cool thing is you can always test things and people can figure things out. If you want to try this hard enough, so people are more open with it because eventually you're gonna figure it out anyway.
Right. Of course, I'm not to say that there's not contract signs and actual business deals. Of course, that's it's just with that first step to get to welcome you in is it's there with this industry.
Right. So how can a growing media company like PricePlow help you a little bit more to pay back? Because we love coming
that
here.
question.
Yeah.
It stuns me because I want to be in a position to serve everybody else. I'm like, what? Help us. Just be experts, turn PowerPoints in on time.
That stressed me out so badly. I wasn't required. Cassie was very kind, didn't need me to have a PowerPoint, but I got weekly emails don't forget to turn it. And I started to get to a point where I was like, do I actually need a PowerPoint? I don't have one.
Yeah. No, we just, we just keep, help us improve. We always asking for feedback. So, please don't be shy about if you think we can do something better, like, not have it over Halloween, please tell us.
So it's Mandalay.
I
Tell me
know.
what I needed to know.
And I'm not trying to shirk my, it's not me. I mean, we're always looking for feedback. And if you are hearing things out there, please, like any one of us, we would love to have that conversation.
Well, on the note of Mandalay, is it always, and you can't say always, but do you have a good relationship with Mandalay aside from the Halloween thing? Like, do you foresee Mandalay being at Mandalay for the future years and stuff? Like when we go home to book our hotel rooms or anything like that?
Yeah, we do have contracts in place for
Okay.
coming years, I'll say. And I mean, Mandalay Bay is wonderful in many, many ways. We do like just the location. We love that it's all, it's that community feel can really happen here because you can walk out and go to your restaurants and there's all of these happy hours and networking. Like everything's happening on site. Your hotel can be on site. So that's really cool to have that here. Mandalay Bay is amazing in sustainability, which is really, really important for us as event organizers because you can do a show very unsustainably, but here, we like Mandalay Bay, they do all of the sorting, the trash can in the back. Even if you put a recyclable in the trash can, they will do it in the back. They will make sure that it gets recycled.
Don't tell people that. You're making it work for them.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and then
That's cool,
we have all of these live trees here, so we don't have to have fake trees, and we
We
donate,
are in the garden.
Yeah, we donate those to local orchards here, so they will plant them within Las Vegas. I mean, it's really amazing.
That's so cool. Kudos to whoever thought of that originally or whatever. I
know,
love
it's such a
that
great
stuff.
idea.
Yeah.
To the logistics thing, I do want to say, Mandalay Bay, in terms of location, is insanely convenient and awesome. There's multiple hotels here, but then you can even go to Delano, Luxor, Excalibur, and it's all on a tram. It's easy to get here. You can do it on a budget if you're a new company coming.
Yep.
There's a lot of opportunities, and you guys make it super accessible and easy to get into. So, yeah, Mandalay Bay. I mean, I don't know if you guys have ever done the Las Vegas Convention Center, and I don't mean to speak about it, but it is not easy to do a show there. Here, I can stay 5 minutes away, get to everything, and still possibly get a nap in between meetings. It's all possible.
With that said, Ben had one night because he spoke, but we are at an Airbnb, so
Yeah.
so we do have to go offsite, which is cool because you bring a lot of people together. You can't do it at a hotel. But
we were in the garden. Maybe you could put up a tent and just have a little nap here.
Was that her giving public permission? No, watch out. Next year is going to be a mess.
No one's allowed to sleep here. I'm sorry.
Mandalay, you don't want to mess with casino bouncers. Let's just put it that way.
Thank you so much for joining us. This has been really nice.
Thank you
to
so
have
much.
anyone, but yourself, we've had a lot of fun interactions, and we're looking forward to anything we can do to help out.
Yeah, great. Well, thank you so
Absolutely.
much. I'm very honored to be here. So
Thanks.
thank you.
Thank you.